Hey there, Riva here for our weekly walkthrough, and I thought we'd do some crystal energy healing as we are speaking with you. And if you are in possession of a pacemaker, then this is not for you, but everyone else may partake if it resonates, of course, right? I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. I'm a fortune teller, and what I share is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting into beauty. This is for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. All that said, this is our weekly walkthrough. And it's sort of like an open house, a back to school night, a first date, a safety meeting, a briefing for a tour of duty. It is a mix of things just to help you determine whether or not this channel is for you. And because free will is real, right? And we are all different psychosocial science experiments, and what resonates for you may be different than me. And so I just enjoy inviting you to keep exploring what works for you. And so that is a large part of how come we share. And trigger warning. We are about to uncover some serious content, sensitive. We are wrapping up Suicide Awareness Month and Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and the abused, neglected, orphan, adopted is 4 times more likely to suicide, and the gypsy, Romani, is 7 times more likely. And so we share solutions, how to play through, and I am both of those things and experienced in my own ways that place where death appears to be the wisest option. And so no shame, no blame, just want to help us all play through and live the life that we were born to live, whatever that looks like for us, however we choose. And for the orphan and for the gypsy, so often our voices have been shut down. And to honor your voice and finding that where you are now with everything you have learned, we are here to help you play through. And so, of course, one of the things that helps us play through each loss is the things that give us joy. And crystal energy healing gives me much joy. And so I come back to it. And if you have been a recipient of one of these baubles and you want to share and hashtag at which to take, that might be fun. And I just adore doing this, and this is one of the things that helps me play through. And this happens to be sea glass that I gathered. It looks like wileykelly.com, WILEYKELLY.com, and ages ago, like over a decade ago, I think, maybe at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, at a booth at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. And so the sea glass, it's tumbled in all of the elements, and so it brings that into the equation and helps us play through the loss. Like, loss is so challenging. How could you possibly play through things that are so devastating? And so this is one of the ways I have found for myself, and perhaps you enjoy as well. And you do some parallel work, and it's just one of the cards in my Stacked for Life Worth Living deck of cards, and I enjoy sharing with you and others. And sometimes this extends to the treatment table. It is part of our kit, our household kit, to help us play through the loss, the treatment table. And so we have tools, associated tools, and maybe you choose to do parallel if you haven't already, to just help for those cry times. Get your pretty cry towels, the crystals, the candles, the lights, you know, safe and sound, right? Safety is a standard as we are immersed in adoption spirit magic, dancing away from emergency states of the fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn. And so you may appreciate checking out those standards for yourself, and I shall try to remember to leave in the description. But we have a whole page of standards on our Coventina site, and that may be on our About page. It may be through the Which to Take website. You may find it through there in the scheduling page, buried within that under websites and blogs, office hours, way at the bottom. And so what else do I want to share with you this week? So Go Slow is one of our cards, Anger Less is one of our cards, Stress Less is one of our cards. And so when those things happen, it's our sign to tag out and not believe everything we think. And as I am trying to thread these beads, you see some don't fit, and so I just need to move on to the other without getting upset. And at this stage in our game, that anger we have seen has caused us to become physically ill, and so Anger Less is one of our standards. And spiritual healers understand that as they work with the mind, spirit, emotions, body of each free will, they understand that as they address the underlying emotions, that the rest works itself out. And so perhaps something in here that you find on this channel helps you shift without any study, without any practice. You just hear some new bit of knowledge, and it helps you push through an area that perhaps you were struggling with or didn't know what the bridge was. Or it gives you an idea of a path to take. And childlike is another standard. Dynamic, remaining in a dynamic dance. Like, right? That's the one thing we can count on is shift happening. So how to dance with the shift happening. And so when we think about what's working and what's not, or where to move forward, we can keep grounding ourselves in those standards to help us understand what's working, what's not, how do we want to move forward. And we can keep going back to those standards and see how they align. And is it even something to spend any time on? Because maybe it's not aligned anymore. And how our standards have shifted, perhaps, especially in the past 3 years. Perhaps you have a whole new set of standards. If you're a teacher, some of you may be getting nationally certified, and you're looking at those. There's like 9 main standards, but within those standards, there's like, I don't know, 30, 40 different subpoints, right? Of bits and pieces that are important and relevant as a teacher. And how interesting it is. Aren't we all teachers? Like, aren't we all folk artists? Aren't we all fortune tellers? Aren't we all healers? Aren't we all psychics? Aren't we all mediums? And so how to honor that and keep developing that and flexing it. And yeah, so we are offering that sort of assistance, helping you play your cards in different ways. And for those times when, there's those times we can't even speak. And so then we turn to the healing, like crystal energy healing or Reiki. And there's so many different forms of healing, and we're all different sociology experiments, like you heard me mention. So you may have 20, 30, 40, 100 different cards in your Stacked for Life Worth Living deck of cards, with different healing treatments, from drinking a glass of water to Epsom salt bath to massage to reflexology to pressure points, doing the pressure points. What is it called? Shiatsu, the Japanese finger pressure, crystal energy healing, all those different healing modalities to help us play through the loss as it affects each of us differently, each loss. And so those are there, those different healing treatments, and each loss card in your deck. There's a flip side. There's a beautiful flip side that only you can paint. And so you can rest in that and know that eventually it'll come to you, if it hasn't already, that beautiful flip side to help just make that loss a little more bearable, right? And let's see here, I'm counting and talking, and this is, easier said than done. Ha ha ha. So I have, I think 7 round beads and then a rectangular bead, and I need to do 7, 1, 2, so I'm at 3 before I do a center bead. And if I don't finish before the half hour is up, I may stop this and I don't know, maybe I'll keep going. What do you think? Let's see, let me check in. Because look, this could take longer than half an hour, right? Talk about building capacity for tolerance. We're building capacity for tolerance. So these cards, it's your individual, professional, and personal development plan. It helps you adopt success, and the people that you work with, you can help them with their deck, right? You don't have to hold everybody's cards anymore. If that was your position, you can help other people build up their stacks and let them play their cards. And that personal and professional development plan, it's there. You don't have to stress. You can keep checking in with it weekly. You can check in with it monthly. You can check in with it seasonally, quarterly, biannually, yearly, and see what's working and what's not. and what are you going to do, and what is XYZPDQ going to do, and just keep it simple, right? Because the loss is so challenging. So this card game that we share, playing your cards that you're already doing, is a way to honor that, to keep it simple, because the loss is too challenging. And so you create this card deck in your free time. Sometimes it comes in times of pressure. Other times perhaps you're bored, and other times you've created a whole day to just play on it, right? And then in those times of need, it's there for you to turn to. You can pull it off the deck and shuffle through and say your pretty prayer and pick some cards to help you play through the situation. Cards that are designed by you, for you. And if you don't like what you've pulled, you can keep pulling until you find one that feels appropriate, right? Because we're just playing through the loss. And we are wrapping up our first year in business as which to take, and our courses, we have 2 online courses sharing this from different angles. They are both free right now. You can find them on the About page. Reclaim Your Game and Adoptive Parent College, and so you may check them out for free, and if it's your bag, you may offer feedback as well, so we may improve the experience for next season. And that is there for you, as well as different shorts and series within this channel, so you can just perhaps get more of an idea of what we're about, if this is for you, or perhaps cards to add to your stack. There we are. And we're also on Instagram. We're a little bit on Twitter. But we are fairly immersed in adoption spirit magic, which means, well, there's a scripture, Romans 8:15. You can consider how to express it in your own culture, and it goes something like this. We have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. We have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, "Thanks, God, for helping us all." So to understand adoption spirit magic more, you may consider how to express that in your culture. And yes, we begin dancing away from the emergency states, that authoritative amygdala cycling fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn. In around 2009, we couldn't even say it. We started coming out of the fog of the adoption fairy tales, the gypsy myths, the matriarchy, the patriarchy, the grief struck by loss, sad gone mad, fearful, authoritative, amygdala cycling, fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn. And yeah, this is where it's come. This is how we've developed. Here we are. We've shifted from being in the fog in 2009 to coming out of the fog and helping others do the same. And we're just another trail guide along the way. You may resonate more with others, and so I just keep inviting you to tune in to yourself to see what resonates and what doesn't. And there's other so many different brilliant creatives to work with now these days with the access of internet. And so on my About page, you may also see different musicians, artists, performers, schools that may interest you, that may seem more appropriate. So you can check into that as well. Have some fun with that. Perhaps, right? How to have fun in these times, stressful, or times of loss. Don't know what to do. And have a feeling we're getting close to half an hour. Let's see. So, you know, you might want to keep coming to back to this channel if you are coming out of the fog as well. And perhaps I assist you coming out quicker than I did with less collateral damage. And you might enjoy coming back to this channel if you are any form of orphan, adoptee, gypsy, Romani. And I don't know, you tell me who you are and what keeps you coming back and how I may assist you more efficiently. We are so grateful to help rebuild New Earth in peace and joy with you. It's an honor and a thrill to collaborate with you. We're so grateful. So grateful. Okay, so this is a test. This is a test of the tolerance system. I wanted this bead, and I think I can get it, but my eyes. Oh, there's the hole. That's what he said. Just kidding. You know, sometimes there may be inappropriateness happening here. And if that's not something you can swing with, well, you may choose another channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gotta do 7 more. 22 minutes, 22 minutes. Maybe I'm gonna get halfway. So, yeah, I think gotta do the same thing on the other side and then somehow tie a knot in it. And there's a center bead. And I don't know who might be drawn to that. We shall see. That piece was found somewhere here on the East Coast. Here, East Coast. Chalmette, modern day Massachusetts. I'm a transplant, so I can't tell you precisely with confidence precisely what area other than to say Eastern Mass at this point. If I was to try to get into the lingo, that is. And so we adore upcycling. It's one of the standards immersed in adoption spirit magic. And so trash that we find on the ground, if we can't, we try to upcycle it if we can, and if we can't, we try to happily put it in its place. Sometimes we're not able to do it, so we try to stress less, worry less, anger less about those times, and just pray over that and give it back to the universe. And then also asking permissions to walk through the spaces. If we're picking up stones, shells, crystals, asking permission, giving prayers and thanks, and then sharing these, the crystal energy healings, offering them to others. Sort of ceremonial pieces. What else? I thought I was going to be doing another piece, and then I jumped to this. So that's why there are these other tools out. That might happen later. It's fun to work on crystals on Wednesdays. Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of Healing, it's his day. And my crystal energy healing teachers, Infinite Promises, Spiritual Destinies in New Bedford, Judy Ramos and Nancy Bernard Bernardo, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, and the beautiful collective there reminded me about that Wednesday and the Archangel Raphael, and what a beautiful day to offer this healing. I mean, it's fun just looking at this and seeing these colors, perhaps. I mean, for me it is, maybe for you watching too, and so that's a healing, just these different colors, and the blues and the greens offer us different, they all offer us something different. And so green is Archangel Raphael's color, other archangels as well. You may look into that. There's different shades of green. You may look into the different shades if one is calling out to you, what they mean to you, or what they mean metaphysically or across cultures, and to deepen that or to play with that some more. Right, to help play through the loss and think about these other beautiful things as that loss is healing, and to help that loss heal, to occupy your mind with these other beautiful spaces. And so these blues are reminding me of the throat chakra, the Visuddha chakra, and your third eye chakra, the Ajna chakra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 7. This is a done piece, but I had an extra one there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And what else? Thank you so much for joining us. We are so grateful for you to stop in for a spell. And whenever you need to leave, of course, you check out when you need, to take care of yourself the most effectively. And we are also so grateful for the healers and all of the Roma around the world, wherever they are. There is Romanistan and the Romanistan podcast, and everyone affiliated, the Voice of Roma, World Artist Initiative Katanes, everyone affiliated with those organizations. So grateful. And also for the adoptee activists that have been working so diligently, especially this month. And you may meet some of them virtually via my link tree on my About page. So many brilliant creatives, and we're so grateful for the work that you are doing to help rebuild New Earth in a peaceful, joyful way. And you help us do our work, and so we are so grateful. And keep on keeping on, keep playing your cards. And we could do a game all the times I say and see, look there, who gets a prize? What's the prize? If you guess the amount of ums and ands. Try not to attach any sort of harmful. Look at that. I think I did 3 of the same color. All right, there we are. There we are. Woohoo! All right, let's see. Here we go, back to this one. This one or that one? This one was glowing so beautifully. So that is our walkthrough, just winding down our session. I have a oops feeling we are getting close to 30 minutes, and so I just want to put on this last bead and then show you how I wrap this up. Feel free to leave in the comments your activity of choice that helps you build capacity for tolerance. Like you see, I'm right now just working this bead, building capacity for tolerance, having fun doing it. Anger less, stress less, worry less. And I could have put this in a needle, but it's not that difficult to do this especially if I'm not talking, if I'm just focusing on the beads. No offense. But I thought it might be a fun little challenge to do both tonight, because it is Wednesday. And I told you about Wednesday already, so I don't want to tell you again, even though part of my job is to repeat myself like a happy broken record. So some safety cards in your stack. You may have like a 3-day card, like the 72-hour card, and the week card, the moon card, the sun card, the 5-year card, the 12-year card. When you're starting to get mad, raise your voice, telling people what to do. Those are your signs to tag out. And yeah, that's a start. This is just another walkthrough on a weekly basis. You can keep coming back and checking out. We are, I don't know, at 5 or 6. This could be 7. And so thank you so much for joining us in this session, for helping shuffle states of emergency into adoption spirit magic, and for playing your cards. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. We love you all.